Sergey from Russia. Can you tell us in details about referee responsibilities during a match? Did it change over the years? Good question.
Yes, referees' responsibilities did change. I think when back in my day, we used to do the thing where when you would ball the fist up, you know, when the wrestler had his fist ball, the referee's job was to get over and give him a 5 count to open his hand. Or either you would remind him, hey, that's the fist you're using, open that hand, open hand. Also, when I refereed, if a guy used the fist, but there's a way you use the fist which leaves the hand open, I would always acknowledge that. I would always make a signal like open hand, let the people know it's not the fist, open hand. So now you can use the fist. There's no Vince stopped it. There's no deal where you can disqualify him for using the fist, or you can say anything to guys about using that fist. So a lot of the responsibilities have changed, and I think it's kind of better for the referee because he's got not so much to worry about. You know, he can kind of relax a little bit because now, you know, there's things that he can do and see, you know, that he couldn't do.
What about the role of the ref in helping the match flow? Are they telling people to go home?
Yeah, they are. Well, that's what they do. Referees are in the ring. They have they've got an earpiece in their ear, and they're listening to that earpiece, and they're hearing everything. They're knowing how much time is left in that match. They're knowing what to tell the guys, you know, when it's time to go and everything. So I just, like I said, it's a lot easier now because back in the day, you didn't have no earpiece, nothing. And so when it was time to go home, I never forget, J.J. Dillon would come out and he would have a pencil in his hand, and he would hold that pencil up, and that's what I used to have to look for. And when I saw J.J. hold the pencil up, I knew it was time to tell the guys to go home.
Okay. Horsecock Express asks us, tell us what makes a good referee. We hear a lot of stories about wrestling, but the art of being a ref is rarely discussed. What qualities make a good ref? Not
to see anything. That makes a good referee. See what you're supposed to see and see what you don't supposed to see.
Sergey from Russia, what should a referee do if any accidents arise? Injury of a wrestler, troubles with a 3 count, fan intermission.
Well, what the referee does when there's an injury, you know, there's a signal that the referee gives to let the people know back in the control truck what's going on.
Okay.
If somebody gets hurt, you'll see them do this.
Okay.
That's the signal that somebody is hurt.
I see.
If nobody is hurt, they'll wave it off.
Okay.
This is the deal where nobody's hurt.
And that's a message to
the
office.
Control room,
right, okay.
Right, that everything's okay.
Gotcha.
Right.
What about if, well, let's go to the next question. Salvatore, and what is the de facto actions of a referee when a legit shoot happens in the ring? How do you take control and make sure things don't escalate to something much worse? For the sake of argument, let's say that this shoot is happening on a pay-per-view, so you can't edit it out like a TV taping or acknowledge it like much of the things that happen at house shows.
Well, that's kind of bad. If you're in there and these guys are out of control and they start a shooting match with you, then my suggestion to you is to get out of the way, okay, because they're not playing. Right. And if you're in there and you're in the way, you're going to get hurt and you're going to get hit. So I think, you know, the best thing for you to do, if that thing turns into a shoot, you try to talk to them and you try to let them know, hey, guys, we're live. We're on live TV. You can't do this. Come on, calm down. Come on, let's talk about it, you know, back there once it's over. So you try and talk to them, and that's all you can do. But just stay out of the way.
Gotcha. Mr. Geiler, the formless one, once again, greetings from Germany on the Royal Rumble 1999. You had one of your first matches as referee when X-Pac and Gangrel met in the ring. Some say you accidentally counted to 3 whilst X-Pac did not kick out. This would have meant Gangrel won the European belt. Fans were screaming, you fucked up, and that was 3. That. It even made it to Wikipedia as a controversial finish. Do you remember what happened, and is there any punishment for referees if this happens?
Well, sometimes you can blame it on the referee, but basically, if the referee counts to 3 and you don't kick out, that's all you can do. Vince McMahon would rather you count to 3 than stop that count.
Make it look fake.
Right, yeah. Okay? So I remember that. I remember the fans screaming, you fucked up, but X-Pac didn't kick out. You know, so I can't stop my count. That same thing happened with me in Hawaii. It was Christian and, Tajira. And Christian did the same thing. Well, Tajira hit him, and he hit him so hard, it was like a potato. He stunned him. Wow. So Christian told me, you know, he said, I couldn't kick out. He said I was almost knocked out. So, you know, things happen like that. I mean, you just can't, if you're on TV, you just can't stop. You just got to go on with it. But basically, sometimes the referee will get blamed for it. You know, the boys will take the heat off them and put it on the referee.
I asked George Steele, who was a road agent for years, what do you do if it's Hogan's shoulders that are down and you got to come down for that 3 and he forgets to kick out? George said you go 1, 2, die in the ring before you count Hogan's shoulders down.
Yeah.
Sergey from Russia, what's a wrestler usually say if he's injured? How can a referee differentiate between selling and a legit injury? Good question, 'cause some of these guys are great actors.
Well, that is a good question, because I've been in the ring with some guys where they were actually hurt, and you knew that they were hurt, but they wouldn't say it. You know what I mean? So, because some guys, you know, they master their craft. And when they're in there, that's what they do. That's what they're all about. So they don't want to stop that match. They want to continue, even though they know they're hurt, because sometimes you feel like you can go on when basically you can't. But it's a thing where, you know, God damn it, I know I'm hurt, but we got to get through this. So maybe we'll cut it short. You know, maybe the time on it, we cut it down so they can get out of there. But basically, you know, some guys won't tell you, so you don't know. And you're scared to give the signal, because if the guy says he's not, and then you do that, and then you're really in trouble then. So that's pretty hard.
Okay. Here's a video from John from Massachusetts.
Hey, John from Rick and Mass again. I got another question for Teddy Long. Out of all the matches that you ever refereed, what's your favorite match and why? And what's the worst match you ever refereed and why?
The best match that I refereed, I think, was Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair. It was a Chi-Town Heat, where it was for the world title. Great match. I mean, I'm in there with 2 of the top guys in this business, and I mean 2 of the best workers in the world. And to referee with them guys, it was just great for me. I was having a great time because they were making me work. You know, and I wanted to do that. You know, they had the false finishes, the fast, all that stuff, and I was just glad to be a part of it. And to think that I'm in here with 2 of the baddest guys in the territory, Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair, that was just an honor for me. So that was the best match that I refereed. One of the matches I refereed was horrible. I don't know, man.
There were probably a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, yeah. It's kind of hard for me to answer that.
Curtain jerkers down in South Carolina, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Well, we did it in Atlanta mostly at the Georgia Championship Wrestling. You know, when I was refereeing, that's basically where I refereed at, was when we used to tape at the old TV station, WCW. Yeah, I had some pretty rough ones, I tell you. But basically, though, it wasn't some of the guys, top guys. It was kind of the underneath guys that was so bad. Because I seen one guy, he was so bad one time. Ronnie Garvin just beat the shit out of him. He just couldn't.
A job guy? Or?
Yeah, he just beat the fuck out of him, man. I mean,
Ronnie beat the fuck out of a lot of people.
Yeah, he was bad about that. I didn't see any reason. You know, these guys are here to try to make you look good and to put you over, and you know, and why would you beat him up like that? I don't know.
Buzz Sawyer was another one like that.
Yeah. I was back there with him, and Ole Anderson. Let's don't forget him. He would hurt you when he laid on you to cover you.
Jeff Sanford. Fred Sanford was Red Fox, for fuck's sake. What's the first match you ever participated in? First match.
First match I ever participated in. One night, this is how I got started. I was putting up the ring, taking the ring down. We was in Marietta, Georgia, at the Cobb Civic Center. Well, it was almost maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe 45 minutes, I guess I'd say, before showtime. Well, we had no referee. The referee never showed up. So the promoter was Louise Manning. She came to me and she said, well, we don't have no referee tonight. She said, do you think you can referee? And I told her, no, I've never refereed a day in my life. But no. So she said, oh, you're going to be fine. You'll be fine. I'm going to send down and get you a referee shirt and just get on in there. And the guys will take care of you. They'll talk to you. Don't worry about a thing. So I got in there. The first match I had was with Black Bart and Ron Bass. It was a Texas death match. Brother, they were bleeding all over the place. They scared me so bad, I didn't know what to do, because I didn't know, man. I thought they were killing each other. This is great. You're going to love this. Black Bart had a gimmick that he had put on his hand. Okay, it was like brass knuckles, but it was just some tape. So he was taking that gimmick and he was just beating the shit out of Bass with that, okay? So I'm thinking, oh my God, he's gonna kill him, he's gonna kill him. So I'm scared. So one thing in the match there, he hit Bart and the gimmick come off of his hand and it fell. Well, I picked it up because I thought that he was gonna kill him with it. I picked it up and I threw it outside the ring. I looked over at Ron Bass and I seen him look at Black Bart and he said, "Did you fucking see what the referee just did?" Well, when I threw it out, there used to be a guy named Danny Payne. Donnie Payne, he used to hang around all the time. He had this shirt he wore, and it had Wrestling Second on the back of it, but he would always be at the Omni and stuff, and he got jackets. He was doing the stuff that I was doing. And he was around ringside, and he caught that gimmick when I threw it out and picked it up to keep the people from catching it. But if the people that had got it, I'd have really been in trouble.
Just tape, yeah.
Show y'all look at was to make it, I was supposed to make it in this business. They were so mad at me because I had did that. Then finally, as the match continued to go on, when it got time to go home, Charlie McGowan, I think he's dead now too, he was the bell ringer. Well, he rang the bell too quick. He fucked the finish up. So they got so mad at him till they forgot about me.
Heat was off of you.
Yeah, heat was off of me, and that was the first match I ever had. That's how I started.
Wow.